got you.
So I think it's time to take the plunge.
I got you. So you're thinking about one for yourself. Now, is the iPad the only thing you're considering, or are you looking at any other options?
That's all I was here looking at today. I think that I've used his before, and I know that there's some apps we'd like to download for our kids.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, if you've got some time, here's what I'd love to do for you, because there's a lot of different nuances with it that might appeal to you. So the more I know about you, the better solution that I can give you for that, and we can kind of take a look and see how would that be okay? So you mentioned a husband, okay, and you mentioned, I think, kids.
Mm-hmm.
So talk to me, what's a typical day look like for you?
We get the kids ready in the morning, and I leave for work. We have a nanny that comes and stays with them, and
that's nice.
So they stay at home.
Okay.
Then I work in sales, so I'm on the road all day.
I was going to ask you, travel a lot with sales?
Yeah, I go place to place. I have like a 200-mile radius.
Wow.
I have to travel sometimes outside of that, but never more than like 4 hours.
Overnight trips sometimes too?
Sometimes overnight,
200
yeah.
miles, sure. Okay.
And then we come home, and we don't do a ton of activities. The kids are still pretty little.
Yeah.
But, so we don't have, dance practice or anything like that yet. That's coming.
Yeah, it will be. I'm going to recital tonight, so I know just what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
My husband does a lot. He golfs a lot. So his actual job is in sales as well, but he travels a lot over.
So how is he using his iPad right now?
He uses it for work. He does
spreadsheets.
Yeah, it's mostly all work apps on his. There's nothing. There's not even Facebook or anything fun like that.
Yeah.
So his is basically just a tool for work that he uses. So that's the iPad that we're looking to buy would also be for him.
Okay, so you guys would kind of share it more personally.
It would be more for the family.
Okay. Is there anything you've seen on his that you like that you would want for yours?
I like some of the apps that you can use where you can mirror it with the TV. My sister bought us an Apple TV, and we have one at our house, but so we use it, but we don't have, obviously, his iPad. My daughter has an iPod.
Okay.
That she uses just basically for games, and we pull up stuff through YouTube and that for her, but that's basically what we use that for.
So using that piece there, all right. So personally, what hobbies and interests, what are some things that you like to do outside of when you're not selling and on the road?
I like to go to different farmers markets. I like different things like that. Me and my husband both like to cook a lot. We like to travel on the weekends. We'll go to different places. We go to the beach. His family lives about 8 hours away, so sometimes we'll stop in the middle and go to Washington D.C. or stop in Baltimore, different places like that. We like to go to New York City.
Okay. That's good. New York City, I was out there not too much. My wife loves New York City.
I love New York City. Does she like to shop?
Oh, absolutely.
I like to shop. Yeah. I could go on and on.
So so how do you connect, like your husband, how is he connecting his iPad for work?
His is activated through iTunes. So it's through his work credit card. Yeah.
Okay. Does that work out for him?
Yeah, because it bills to his work credit card every month, and so that's how he uses it.
Okay.
I figured we could probably do something similar.
Yeah, there's some advantages to that, but I'm going to give you some things to think about there. How are you connecting at home?
We have Time Warner terrible cable.
Okay. Yeah. So when you say terrible, what are some of the challenges that you're?
Well, the other day I was trying to download. I missed How I Met Your Mother, and my husband forgot to DVR it, or else they didn't have it marked as new, which always happens on Time Warner.
Yeah.
And so I had to download it from iTunes onto my daughter's iPod.
Yeah.
And it timed out 8 times. And I actually ended up using my phone. I have this awesome Verizon 4G LTE phone.
I was going to ask you about that.
I used my hotspot on here and was able to download it a lot faster.
Now, how long have you had your phone? Has it been a while?
I have an iPhone 5, so it's pretty new.
Okay, so you've got a new phone. I tell you, that's going to be a great companion with this thing here. Okay, fantastic. Well, this is the iPad. You wanted the larger version or the smaller?
I think we'd probably like the larger.
The larger. So let me give you some information based on some of the things you told me. So you obviously you travel a lot, around 200 miles. So you're out on the road a lot. You spend some nights over there. Your husband's using his manual for work, but you want to kind of do some more personal stuff, and I can show you some neat things that you do there. Obviously, young kids. There's some really neat things for the kids too as they get a little bit older, particularly when you're traveling with them. Some of the things you'll be able to give them on your iPad as a distraction tool. Mm-hmm. So we'll talk about some of that. Did I miss anything? Is there anything else that I need to know? All right, so let me tell you, with the iPads, they are at their most powerful when they're connected. Okay, so when you're out and about, and obviously the greatest thing about the tablet, it's portable. Mm-hmm. All right, so obviously you can play with it around the house, and whenever you're around the house, you can connect it to your Wi-Fi, and that's a good thing because it helps offset some of the data. So you can use it there, but then when you go out into the world, you press the button and you're moving on so many different things, okay? So connectivity is going to be really important to you to make that thing work. So when you're using it for work, spreadsheets, you're doing with that kind of thing as well?
Mm-hmm. I get a lot of
Press this button here, you can see you've got full access to email, so you can see all those things there. You can download clients, a lot of them for free, but I can show you some software that you can use on here that will help you with your spreadsheets and things like that. Now here's a really neat thing. So when you're on the road and you've got young kids, it's tough being away from family. Do you guys ever do any face communication with one another?
We tried it one time with my mom.
iPads make it so easy in this FaceTime. When you click on that there, you can easily connect with your family and be able to see and communicate with them when you're on the road. Now, if you're going to be communicating with folks with the face-to-face technology, it needs to be fast, right? Because you don't want to be herky-jerky and all those things. So one of the great things that we could do with this, we've got some great pricing on the iPad anyway, but I don't know if you know that it's $100 off right now when you connect it. Have you ever seen a jetpack?
No.
So it's this device here. This thing here is one of the most amazing things that you got. Now, you carry around your own portable hotspots. You are your own hotspot. So when you're traveling out there in the world and you turn that thing on, 30 feet around you is a hotspot connected to the Verizon network. And you said you were already on Verizon, right?
Right.
You pretty much get coverage everywhere you go. Mm-hmm. You're pretty pleased with what you're getting coverage-wise?
Oh, yeah.
Same thing on this jetpack. And it also, Verizon has deployed a technology called LTE. Have you seen some of the commercials?
It says it on my phone.
Yeah. So what all that means to you, and I know it's all fancy stuff, but all it means is fast internet. They have built the fastest network in the internet. It's 10 times faster than what's out there. In fact, it's faster than that Roadrunner that you don't like at home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
that's why I have to use the hotspot.
You're able to take that everywhere you go. So not only is it fast, so when you're doing some of those FaceTime conversations, that's good. But the other element is it's secure. You ever used a private hotspot?
Yes.
Like at McDonald's or whatnot?
Yes, it's terrible.
Well, and they throttle you and things,
yeah,
right?
It's terrible. Well,
and the other side of it is, when you're connected to a public hotspot, it's public. Mm-hmm. People who know what they're doing can access your device and do all kinds of crazy things. So the great thing about having your own portable hotspot is that you can actually secure your network and you let on who you want to let on. Do you know how many people you can let on to it? 10 people. So when you're traveling with your husband, you mentioned the daughter had an iPod, she can connect to that. So picture this, you guys driving down the road going on vacation, because I know you like to go to the beach. So you're taking the family down to the beach, and you guys have this hotspot going, everybody's doing what they need to do. No, Mom, are we there yet? Right? So how does that sound to you?
That sounds like a good idea.
So that's what I'm thinking. So, I mean, not only would I recommend the iPad, and we've got a couple of colors, we'll work all those things out too, but heck, let's knock $100 extra off the price of that, and we'll get you this jetpack to go along with that.
How is it different than just using the hotspot on my phone?
That's a great question, because you can do that. So
yeah.
You probably are a Share Everything customer, and Verizon is the only company that gives you the hotspot for free. Mm-hmm. So here's the thing, that is great when you happen to be out and you didn't bring your jetpack with you, because you are able to connect. But what else is your phone doing other than being a hotspot?
Calling, texting,
That's
tweeting.
Right. That's right. And you've got a battery in here. When you start doing all of those things on there, it will put serious strain on it. So if you use that as your primary device for that, it's going to really work on that. So it's so much nicer to have it as separate, so you don't have to worry about it wearing down on your battery. Also, the scenario is when you're not in 4G, if you're wanting to make a phone call and doing the hotspot, that interrupts the whole thing.
Oh.
You're not able to talk and do the hotspot at the same time. So, you know, again, when you have those rare occasions when you don't have your hotspot with you and you need to do it, beautiful. It's a perfect setup for it. But for all the things that you've described that you're doing, particularly when you're bringing work into it, I would highly recommend having a separate device. But here's the great thing. So, you know, there's an additional fee for that. How much do you think it would be a month to add that to your Share Everything plan for your tablet?
$40.
No, I mean, it used to be $50 a month for it. Now it's $20, and you share that data for the jetpack.
Okay.
Now, let me show you something else that might interest you, too. With your iPad, we've got an embedded version, which means this little jetpack piece is built right into it.
Oh, okay.
Those iPads are a little more expensive, but the neat thing about it is it only costs $10 a month to have this thing connected to your Share Everything plan. That's it. And you can use that and you have your own separate tool. So the advantage might be you wouldn't have to carry around that jetpack with you.
Oh, okay.
And it still would connect up to 10 devices from that.
Oh, okay.
Would that be a better way to do that for you? Do you think the jetpack?
Is it going to make my battery do something? Okay. Well, I mean, and then you're running the same thing as the phone.
The jetpack still may be a better solution for
So
you.
$10 more than the jetpack?
Now, the jetpack is $20 a month
Okay.
for that there. But again, that's so much less than it was.
Oh.
Does that look like a good solution
That
for you?
sounds like a great
Let's take you over here and
solution.
get you rolling.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Hey,